So how did you start out? Like you started as a bartender?
Correct. I think it all started in France about 20 years ago. I used to work for a chef called Paul Bocuse, a big chef in France. I used to help the sommelier carrying cases of wine. Then moving from there, London started, was 17 years ago exactly. Came to a cocktail bar to learn English. My English was really bad. And started as a bar back. Actually, I was working in the dispense bar, the Coaglinos. In Bury Street, St. James, Mayfair in England. And one thing leading to another thing. From there I went to work to a club called the Media Center. Then I went traveling in Africa for a while. Opened a bar in Belgium, a living room. Back to London. Did Sanderson on Bernard Street, where I worked with Henri Besson, big pilier of our industry many years ago. And then, again, one thing leading to another one, became more involved in a few things. Started to work with William Grant & Sons, covering Monkey Shoulder, launching Monkey Shoulder with a guy, marketing guys. Moved from Monkey Shoulder to Hendrix when Hendrix was just starting to launch, and took the brand around the world for 8 years with William Grant & Sons. To then become a bar owner, meeting a group of friends in Paris and opening a bar in London together, which is ECC Chinatown. Mm-hmm. We all chipped our cash in, we all opened the bars, and from there, opening a bar and other bars, we've opened ECC Chinatown. It was in December 2010, I think, if I remember. Then we opened New York, opened a wine bar back in London. We opened Ibiza as well, small bar. On the beach in Ibiza. So again, from working the bars, the brands, opening my own bars with a group of friends, Romé, Pierre, Charles, Olivier, and Nico. Just moving, further, and then recently, the last 2-3 years, left William Grant & Son, opened a small marketing agency, Orpheus, and then met Fred at the Domaine des Hautes Glaces in the mountain, and started to create Vulson with Fred at the Domaine des Hautes Glaces. So. It's like a parkour coming from the bars, going to the brand, going back to the bars, and then going to the brands. So today I mix a little bit of everything, so it's like making sure we've just launched our new bar, Joyeux Bordel, in Curtain Road in Shoreditch. We're just taking Vulson, we've just launched, France, Denmark, Germany, we're taking to Italy with Jacques, we're going to Switzerland. So it's just like, looking at it at every single aspect. Of the business, really.
Was this planned from the beginning? Like, was your dream always to be a brand owner or a brand ambassador, bar owner? Or did it just happen?
I think the thing was really planned. I think everything happened very naturally, very organically. Like 2 years ago, I met these guys as well from Brazil. We started to be involved and work on a cachaça with them, cachaça Yaguara. So it's like all these things kind of like pop in, really like occasionally. And when you meet the one time you meet the interesting people, it's like when you go to different countries of a brand and you meet the industry, the interesting distributors, you're going to work with them. So it's like, I think it's meeting people who created opportunities, and these opportunities created a business really, rather than, let's do a business. It's more like, I meet someone interesting, let's work together, boom, the business, arrives. I think it's
very organic way.
Yeah, it's a way I work. I've never been thinking to myself, let's go open a bar. It was like, if the opportunity come along, it's meeting the right people, being at the right time, at the right place. I think it's more of an organic, growth really, to be honest with you. I think like working as a bar manager, as a bartender, as a barback when I was a kiddo, being like a brand ambassador, being a brand ambassador, got me an understanding how everything works. It would have been possible, but it probably would have been more difficult. It's just the experience, of doing it one way, like different angles, and then being able to nail it really all together. I think it brings more to the equation. I have business partners for all these features. I'm never on my own. There's always people I work with, and I think it's a good example of something that can be done really.
So how does your everyday look like now? Do you wake up Monday? Okay, I'll do bars today. Tuesday I'll do my brands. What does it look like? How is it to have so many things going on at the same time?
It's interesting because it's kind of like it comes and goes as a flow. So for example, we're launching Joyeux Bordel now, so I will reduce the work with my agency and concentrate on Joyeux Bordel. And then out of the Xavier Bordel, I know that Vulson needs to be launched in November in Italy, maybe Switzerland. So maybe I need to do another little trip in Copenhagen as well. So everything will kind of fit. I've been lucky enough, everything kind of fit, you know, almost naturally. So I just have to tweak it. You know, like I've got a couple of clients I'm working with. I'm going to reduce it now. We're going to stop for a little while. I'll maybe pick up in January or February, and I concentrate on what's the priority. The priority has always been like, you know, the bars. You know, we have a big group of bars. We have a big team. We need to look after them. Open our bars. Vulson is part of the priority, and it's in the bars anyway. So it's like it all kind of like surf well together. It's just knowing, you know, what I can do really and where I can stop, draw the line really to be able not to do too many things really and not do them well. Concentrate on doing little, but doing it well.
Yeah. So you obviously have a lot of travel around during the year.
I do. I'm trying to reduce a little bit because there's nothing like home. You know, I enjoy being at home.
And you live in London?
I'm based in London, in East London. And like towards the end of the year, I've got a couple of market visits to do, but I'm trying to reduce a little bit. As much as I love traveling, I need to have a little time at home as well.
Taking care of your motorbikes.
Exactly. Yeah. I was going to say my wife.
Yeah, well, the bikes and the wife. Yeah, of course, of course. So you've basically been all over the world. What do you think about the Copenhagen cocktail scene?
It's up. I mean, the last 5-6 years, it's been difficult. I've always followed, you know, when Rasmus opened first Ruby, my first trips then there. I always followed what was happening. I think the culinary scene has put the level very high, and I think the bars, people used to go to the restaurant and maybe they didn't have so much choice for bars. Now in Copenhagen, it's difficult to follow. It's like it's going extremely fast. There's more bars happening. I find it very interesting. And the guys, you know, people drink them there as well, which is really cool. It's like people have that culture, I think, more and more now. So difficult, hard to follow. I need to go back in there and see what's happening. But good. Last time I was there, the guys were really interested. You know, they were really into it and they wanted to know. So it was quite a good trip.
Do you have anything you want to add? You think it's
No, you know, we're just like we'll come back to Copenhagen at some stage. I hope to meet a few more people than there, and just keep doing what we do, really.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much.